Good day. Today we're going to be looking at my project for the 1 meter of pi design challenge. It's right over here beside me. As you can see behind me though, I do have some of the things that I've been using to create my enclosure. I'm going to do a little bit on the enclosure right now, just of the framework. So let's have a look at a couple of the things before we head over to the actual unit. So now I've designed these special little connector pieces for 3/4 inch Emt Conduit. Now what's going to happen is this is going to be used to connect all the pipes like this. So I figured Emt Conduit, there's got to be someone in the space station. I did find one photo right here of at least a piece of conduit that has been put on it. So I know it is there, but later on down the road, I will be taking a look at another design that I wanted to try, but I wanted to get something working sooner than later, so hence the reason why we're going with this design and continuing on. Not to mention, I did 3D print probably 60% of my filament roll before I decided I wanted to actually change my design. This is how they're going to connect, so there is no actual welding or anything that needs to happen. All we need is something to cut the pipe that does not cause any sparks, of course. So something like this ratcheting pipe cutter will definitely do the trick. I'll just show you that guy. And I forget what the brand is. I probably have the packaging somewhere around here. Anyways, that's not that important right at the moment. I'll link everything somewhere within my documents of all the tools that I use. 3D printer being the major component right at the beginning here. So I designed everything up in SketchUp 2017. It is the free version. I'm not too really fond of paying for programs, so I just keep with the free version. I'm still able to extract my STLs and get them converted through repeater host or server that I'm using, and be able to send them off to the printer. So with these designs here, I do believe I did a 20 or 25 infill on them, and then what I did was, when it came to actually connecting them on this guy here, basically all I did was I tried doing a few runs of screws in there to see if it would actually connect. And that being said, what I've been using, or what I will be using once I get the unit built, is I'll go around and I will use just some of these guys here. So they're just self-tapping screws right there. So they will dig into the conduit and drill their own holes, and this is going to provide that ability to still, once again, not cause any sort of spark in space. And once again, less things we have to drill, the better. So I will link below to all the files that I've currently done. So if you want to follow along, build your own, try it out, by all means. All the files are going to be there. What I started with is, in my files, is this guy here. This is just a test ring. So this is going to go over your conduit, so that way you can find out if you need to adjust the actual size on your 3D printer, or if it's good. So that's what that guy's for. You'll go and test that. Once that's done, then you can start printing out the other stuff. So what I started with, this was my original design, and I found, well, as you can see here, the screw holes on the inside there, they tend to not allow for a screw to go in, and you know, another one going on the other side. So I decided that's when this had to be changed, and then this guy was born. As you can see, we have screw holes on the inner as well as around the unit itself here, depending on how we're connecting any of the devices to it, or any of the conduit to it. What else here? I did try to make a few other pieces here. This is just a basic end corner cap, and it'll go, you'll see where everything is. I'll have the amount of things that all go together. And then I built these guys here, and this is just a through hole, and basically it's going to act as a flat surface, so when I go to mount my inner board there, it's got something that I can actually connect it to. Well, I thought if I couldn't do that all the places I wanted to make it as secure as possible, what I would do is I made these guys here. So these are just quarter caps here, and basically all they're going to do is fit over the pipe on top, and then I'll be able to connect to that. So that's going to be that part. Might not make sense now, but we'll take a look over at the enclosure and have a look at it here. Alright, so here we go. This is the enclosure here. Over on the left here is where all the electronics are going to be housed, and then I will have my enclosure on it, and then we will have two hanging planters on these bars here, so one going down that way, one going along the other end here, and that's going to give us our more of a living wall. It's going to have some plants draping down in there, and then in the bottom here we are going to have our main stock of lettuce and spinach for sure, and then we got a couple other items to go into the baskets here to drape down. We'll have our lighting in there, a bunch of other little fun stuff, and so basically the measurements on this is 30 inches deep by 30 inches high by 60 inches wide. So I kind of took it and made it so that it would work for me. I've added, and I'm just under that 1 meter. So what I want to do is I want to leave myself with just a little bit of room, just in case I need to add anything that might stick up a little bit further, or something like that. So this is the main unit here now. I do have all my stuff documented throughout this. We'll go more into the actual 3D design of this stuff, but I'll do that on my design challenge page versus talking about it here. So if you like, make sure to tune in next week as we will get the enclosure on, and we will maybe start to run some of the cables and stuff from this massive amount of stuff that I have in here. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Hopefully everything works out. I think I've thought of almost everything, but with that being said, chances are I missed something. So we'll see what happens here in the coming weeks here. And hopefully by the end of the year here, we will be able to actually harvest some of our stock here. Now, this design here, you would be able to make it basically anywhere, be on Earth or in space, wherever you want, and it's going to be cheap, cost efficient. So right now I've used, I do believe, 4, 5, 6 runs of conduit, so roughly 6 runs are 10 feet each, so 60 feet of conduit total so far into this project. That's just over $30 my cost. I don't know what conduit is in your area, so my cost is $30 Canadian. And yeah, so we're going to go with that for now. The roll of filament was, I think, $23 or something like that. So far, you know, for $50, we've got most of our enclosure. There's a lot of ways we can make it, the actual casing for it, relatively cheap. So that's what I'm going to try to do, but maintaining that, what they would have on a spaceship and or on a space station, and be able to kind of make it work with that, and then keeping everything so that if gravity was a factor, then we will adjust this project for a zero gravity environment, and then later on, if anyone wants to build it, what you'd only have to do is change a couple minor things, and then you would have a pretty killer system, which you can then build upon as you grow. So if you wanted to add more chambers or multiple chambers, have them stacked, whatever you want, this would be a good starting point to have a multiple layered system, and then having one main control box area that would monitor and control your entire crop. So with this being something as far as a project where we need to collect enough substance to survive on another planet, the only real way to be able to do that would be to have your reserve foods, live off of that while you were planting and growing a sustainable crop, and then growing your crop size as you further progress. So hopefully I come up with a little story with that stuff, and maybe we can make something work. But we'll take a look. We'll see how much we get out of this. May or may not work, but hey, we're going to try. So stay tuned for next week, and we will get this guy all enclosed, and I will take you more on step-by-step of what I'm doing throughout the week. So, till next time. Thanks for watching, everyone. You have a wonderful day, a wonderful week, and we'll see you next time. Take care, eh?